Um, are you walking around with a dirty tush? What is a dirty tush? What is a tush? A tush is your bum. The bum is what they call the butt in Canada, the bum. So in the United States, we have a tradition, a practice of cleaning our bum with a piece of paper. And the science of that just blows me away. The science of it. You take cash that's made out of paper, you give it to this store. Here's paper, and they're going to give you paper back. But this paper, you are going to wipe your bum with it. So it's a paper for paper exchange, but this paper, you wipe your bum with it. So why not just wipe your bum with the cash? Because it's still paper. It's paper. It ain't going to clean you no different. Because you can take that same money, you could take the cash in your hand, wipe your bum, and rinse off the cash. Technically, because it's paper. So years ago, I got into just the study and the science of just the hygienic part of how we clean ourselves we attempt to clean ourselves with paper. And America, our government is so greedy that they do know this. They are going to charge us for everything. Stuff that the government gives us everything we want. That's something y'all just don't realize. You know, they give us everything we want. And unfortunately, people want a lot of convenience. And that's speaking on the fast food. But the dirty bum, other countries in the UK, they use a bidet. Some of y'all know about it. Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all really don't know the science of it. But the bidet is a toilet-like apparatus that shoots a stream of water up to your tush. And in its original design, it looked like a short, tiny little toilet bowl sink. And it was used for the frontal part for women during menstrual cycles and stuff like that. And it's a cleaning operation of when you go to the restroom to do a number 2, the bidet shoots water up right at your tush area to break up particles and basically give you a quick wash. And if you're somewhere where the bidet setup is set up correctly, they'll have some type of, soft type of paper towel type situation that you pat dry and throw it away. In some cases, depending on how luxurious the place is, or even if you're at home, it's a towel, a small towel that you dry yourself with. Outside of using a bidet in the United States, we use toilets and toilet paper. So technically, as we know it, we do the number 2, and then we get some toilet paper, and technically we just wipe and smear the number 2 residue on your skin. You just smear it. You're not washing it or cleaning it. And in some cases, people, they're at home, they brushing their teeth, they get in the shower, they shower up, and then they go, oh shoot, I gotta poop. They take a poop, They wipe themselves, they smear the poop around their butthole area, and then they get dressed and they leave, walking around with a poopy, smeared up tushy all day. In the other case, if somebody had a bidet, you are actually spraying yourself with water, cleaning yourself way in a 90% bracket of clean, and drying yourself off and heading out during your day. And I always think like me personally, you got to know your body. That's why it's important you eat the same stuff every day at the same time. That's important. I go to the restroom in the morning, then I shower. I eat clean throughout the day. My next restroom is late at night, 10, 11, 12 a.m. That's my next one. And at home, I have bidets. At my shop, bidets. I stopped using toilet paper, I feel like over 15 years ago. Over 15 years ago. And it's life changing. You know immediately how clean you are. And it trips me out when you're at like a nightclub and you go into this nightclub and then you go to the restroom and somebody done blew it up. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck? Like, is that person actually here to hook up with somebody that they meet, go back to their house, open up their legs to get oral, and you got a smeared up poopy butt? That blows me away. It blows me away that people actually poop in public places like that. I'm just built different. I cannot do it. Nope. People blowing up Starbucks and places like that, and restaurants and clubs and nightclubs and strip clubs. And that just goes to show that you eat horrible. You eat horrible because you ain't supposed to be out there pooping in public everywhere. Your system's supposed to be under control, and it starts with you eating healthy, eating clean. So for all you running around with a dirty tush, this is your heads up on we know who you are. But yeah, here's some video footage to put everything that I said in a visual concept.
I'm sorry, toilet paper is not hygienic. Imagine you grab poop with your hands and then just wiped it with a dry paper towel. Are they clean? No, of course not.
If you've ever talked to somebody that has a bidet, you'll know it because they're immediately going to start ranting and raving about how great it is.
You have a bidet? Girls, can you imagine getting spa treatment every single day?
Think of it this way. You're walking across your lawn barefoot and you step in something that you really don't want to. What are you going to do? You're not just going to take some tissue and wipe it off and call it good, go about your day, go walk around the inside of your house barefoot still. You're going to at least go hose it off, walk inside, hop around, and get to the bathtub to try to clean yourself off fully.
Reason number 1 is a bidet using water leaves you cleaner than using toilet paper. Toilet paper leaves a residue on your skin, whereas a bidet with water will leave your skin fresh and clean. And I understand that you will have a wet bottom after you're done, but you can pair it with a washcloth, or you can also get a bidet that includes an air dryer. Reason number 3 is it can save you money. If you buy a bidet, you don't have to buy as much toilet paper, and even if you are using toilet paper, it will only be a small amount, or like me, you could use a cloth alternative. But either way, not having to buy as much toilet paper in the long run will save you money. Also, a lot of Americans have problems with anal itching. This can be solved by using water instead of paper, which, as I've said, leaves a residue on your backside. Also, for people who are disabled or have physical limitations, using a bidet which doesn't require you to have to turn and reach your backside could be a great alternative to having to wipe.
I've got some hazelnut spread here. Oh, whoops. I got it on my face. Hey, no worries. I've got some toilet paper here. Let me just clean that right off. All right, it is totally cleaned off, so I can do the rest of this video knowing that there's not going to be any distraction with hazelnut spread on my face because I wiped it off with toilet paper. I'm good to go. Oh, hang on. Wouldn't you believe it? I actually had to go to the sink and wash my face off with water. I don't get it because this should have worked. I mean, it's toilet paper.
So that's facts. What we have been doing, generationally taught, is, in my opinion, unsanitary, wrong, and the tradition needs to stop. You know, thinking that your bum is clean simply from taking paper and smearing it around your skin down there is not righteously cleaning it. You need to wash your butt, and using a bidet to, blast your bum area with water and then drying it is a much, 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 much cleaner, needed way of tending to yourself after you poop. So today, you need to start the practice of using a bidet. Save that money because you're wasting a lot of money on toilet paper, and you're always searching for the right one. And they make so many of them if they don't even need to be many of them. If toilet paper was righteous, it'd only be one. There's no need for 50 different toilet papers. But save yourself that money. And then bidets, you do not have to go buy a toilet. They have handheld sprays. That's what I use, a handheld spray. And with that sprayer, you have the ability to aim wherever you want to aim. And you thinking travel. Well, what if you're not at home? Well, again, my system don't hit me when I'm out and about at all. At all. And if you travel, they have traveling bidets, portable traveling bidets you can take with you. And that is something that you will invest in if you do use bidets on a normal, such as, like I said, at home, or what type of business atmosphere you got, if it's offered at your work. And even with work, you wake up, if you work a 9 to 5, your system is right. You don't need to be pooping at work. That means you eating junky, because you can poop in the morning and handle your whole day at work, and then do number 2 when you get home. There are a lot of people that I heard that take their funky ass to work and poop every single day. And if you one of them, you a buster. You gotta fix yourself. So get your health together. And this is part of health. Clockwork is important with your health. You need to be sleeping at the same time, going to sleep at the same time, eating at the same time, eating healthy at the same time. The color of your poop is important. The density of it is important. All that means something, you know. There's a healthy poop smell and a very, very unhealthy poop smell. And I'm talking about this because it's important. You don't need to ignore this, because if you ignoring this, that means you're distracted by the fluffy stuff in life. And the fluffy stuff is the stuff that don't matter. And then cats end up sick, and people, they don't wonder why, but they know. They know what the heck they did and didn't do to get themselves in that position. So for me, it's very, very important. For me now, life is so important. I got a lot to live for, and you should too. You know, I want to see so much more in life. I want to experience so much more. And you got to surround yourself around people who actually, you know, support that. Because there's a lot of people out there who, they don't care if they pass tomorrow. And I don't want to have nothing to do with those people. Get the fuck away from me. You know, you need to be around people who really, really reaching, and they have plans to be healthy throughout their life. So make sure your tush is clean, male or female. It ain't nothing, you know. It is very masculine to be clean. Very masculine to be clean. Don't no woman like no funky ass man at any capacity. And I talk to men with this right here. You know, there's things that you need to groom yourself on. You know, pluck your nose hairs. Don't no woman want to look at you and see hair coming out your nose. Don't no woman want to look at you and see hair coming out your ears. You know, and if you think that's some fruity stuff, then don't ask yourself why when your woman take interest in somebody else. You know, take it upon yourself. It's your body. Ain't nothing, you know, looking tough about looking toe up and I don't even know, just scrungy and looking stanky. Don't know. Ain't no woman looking for that. If she is, she's just as stanky as you are, you know, and y'all deserve each other. But investing into yourself, into your health is extremely, extremely important. Groom yourself. You know, when I see people, you know, just a dude, I see girls with nose hair coming out. I'm just looking at that like, get the fuck away from me. You know, no woman needs to have, look at yourself right now as a woman. Look at yourself. If you got nose hairs coming out your nose, slap yourself. And tell yourself you ain't got no friends, because nobody ain't told you, you know. And feet, women, men, if you got black, crusty feet on the back of your heels, that shit did not come today after you started walking around. That's been there for weeks, months, years. That means you do not wash your feet. You don't take care of your feet. And you have to take care of your feet. So I'm telling you now, yes, if you ever come around me, anybody watching this, I'm looking at everything. That's my duty. Because you're supposed to care about yourself. So take this message, take it to heart, pass it on, self-inventory, go in the mirror right now and look at yourself. And if you don't like looking at yourself, don't think nobody else is going to have a good time looking at you.